Welcome back. We are live. Another episode of the Platform Podcast, Houston, Texas edition. Man, we have a goodie tonight. Uh, this one, man, we real particular. We gonna get straight into it. We gonna talk about the top five key components to having a championship caliber team. Now we all know it's a lot that goes into it from week one to the final week in Jerry World. You can name 100 different things, but today we're just gonna focus on the top five things that I believe that what it takes to be a state championship caliber team in Texas. Now, first, number five, speed. I feel like you have to have that speed. That's one element that every team needs. You have to have that one guy or a couple guys that just can take the top off. Whether it's a kick return, punt return, whether it's speed at the receiver position or whether it's speed on defense. Whether it's speed coming off the edge, or edge rusher, or speed at the cornerback spot, the makeup speed, closing speed as a safety, speed at the linebacker spot, coming downhill and making that tackle. You have to have speed of some sort. Like that's what you that like. I don't really know too many teams who've been successful in winning championship that didn't have that element. Like it's a must-have in Texas. Everybody's big, everybody's strong, uh, everybody's fast, but you have to have that speed element that separates yourself. If you go back and look at any team on whether it's 3A, 4A, 5A, 6, they had some type of speed. It's very, very important. Matter of fact, that could be the difference in, certain players getting recruited highly or, in the middle of the pack or whatever. Speed kills. Number four, discipline. On and off the field. It's a must. It's a must. Like you have to buy in to what's going on as a team. Every individual player has to buy in and be on the same page. Got to be on one accord, and on and off the field. In the classroom, you got to know. Okay, hey, if I don't get my grades right, I'm not gonna be able to play on Friday night, or I'm not gonna be able to get recruited. Nobody gonna take me serious. Or if I'm acting a class clown, then like that speaks to the character. If I'm getting in trouble, that's detriment to the team. You may get suspended. You may get removed from the team altogether. You may just be deducted playing time. So discipline is a big factor. Like football is the ultimate team game. I always preach that. Everybody has to be on the same page for it to work. It's a little different than, let's say a basketball or whatever. Basketball, you can have, maybe two, three really, really good kids, and everybody else, can, get in where they fit in. Football, is you have two sides, well, three sides of it, and a lot of times it be night and day. Everybody has to jail. Everybody has to jail for this thing to work. It's a grueling game. It's a long game. It's a long season. But at the same time, you have to take everything serious. Everybody has to have the same mindset. And most teams have 40, 50, maybe 60 players, and everybody might not be locked in as the next man. Everybody may not take it serious as the next man. But having discipline matters. And even on the field, not committing penalties all the time, not playing past the whistle, not letting your emotions get the best of you. All that stuff matter. Like once you start build a reputation, where it gets around. Okay, this guy he's a little feisty. He may like to fight, or he may like to play a little dirty or whatever. Just have some discipline. Be coachable. Don't disrespect your coaches. That's part of discipline as well. That's a key component that like the best teams have that. Number three, size in the trenches. You have to have size in the trenches, both sides of the ball, or it won't work. Like it, cause I feel like that's what games are won anyway. In the trenches, that's what football games are won. That's the best players you may see, or maybe quarterbacks and running backs and receivers, but man, it's those big hog mollies hogging up the middle, getting their hands dirty. This is where you hear all the pads clacking. You got to have that side in the trenches, to separate yourself. Whether it's a running game or you create time in the pocket for pass plays, and even on the other side of the ball, clogging up lanes, going after the quarterback. You know, tackling tackling the running back in the middle of the hole. Like whatever it is, you gotta have that size. Like it matters. Like you be seeing these 6'4", 6'5", 320-pound sophomores and juniors nowadays, man. Like especially in Texas. One thing about Texas, we definitely got those big boys on the line. Every city you can name. I feel like size is important. It dictates the flow of the game on both sides. You got to have the size in the trenches. Number two, I really wanted to. I started to put this number one, but I'm gonna keep this number two. And I might be a little biased as I'm a coach myself, but not really. I wholeheartedly believe this. You have to have a coach that is not scared to take chances. You can't. Sometimes you can't be too conservative. Be smart, but you can't always be conservative. Your team has to know that you believe in them. They can get it done. Like open it up a little bit. Like switch things up. You may want to go for an onside kick here and there. You may want to go for it on fourth down here and there. You may want to go for a fake punt here and there. Or you maybe just or even what or it could just be playing a certain player that it may not be favorable or typical. You may have a guy who's a sophomore who's talented, more talented than the senior on the team, and in your mind you think, okay, hey, I got to play this senior. This is last year, but he may not be more talented than the young guy. You got it. You can't be scared to do that. You can't be scared to go with it. Like always take chances. Because one thing you never want to live with as a coach is that regret. Like, man, I wish I could have did this, man. Like on that way back home, on that bus ride home or on that car ride home, it was like, man, if I had this one play back, or if I could have called this, no, do it. Like what they say on that commercial, do it now. Do it now. Like no better time, no greater time than the present, man. Do it now. So I feel like you have to have a coach who's a dynamic coach who's not afraid of the moment, who's playing to win and not lose the game, who's not just trying to manage, who's just trying to get by. No, you're going out there to strike fear because it's going to boost morale. It's going to give your team hope and believe, and now they have faith in you, especially if you know what you're doing. So I feel like that's super important. And last but not least, the number one key component to having a state championship caliber team in the great state, the best state, high school football, Texas, you got to have that dog at quarterback. I'm sorry. You have to have that him. You have to have that guy. You have to have that number one. Hey, you got to have that ace, man. Look, man, when all things fail, hey, man, quarterback, take us home, baby. Take us home. And I feel like you can really say that in probably any state. But definitely in Texas, you gotta have that dog at the quarterback spot. Whether he's slinging it, whether he's running or both. He's smart. You gotta have it because he's the difference maker. One thing about quarterback, you can only play one of them at a time. So he has to maximize. He has to be the best, or at least one of the best players on the team, or at least the most important player on the field. You got to maximize the talent with your quarterback. A lot of times you might have a player who's playing quarterback. He's not a traditional quarterback, but he's the best athlete on the team, and it take him far. So that's a little different, probably when you get to college and obviously the NFL. But man, at quarterback, you got to be a dog. You got to just go out there and get it, and be better than the next man. Like for example, like, let's take Carday Mack for Atascocita. He's not a traditional quarterback. He's not even being recruited to play quarterback. Coach Stump not taking the ball out that man's hands. Coach Stump not taking the ball out that man's hands. If you want to go back a few years back, Duncanville, they had Jaquindon Jackson. Like, he played running back now. But they weren't taking the ball out that man's hands at all. Like for real. Like people are always even asking me, man, like the last couple years, like, being at Kip Sunnyside, like man, like how y'all be winning games and how y'all like I be seeing some of y'all score. The scores be crazy. Y'all be putting up 60, 70, 80, 80 plus points sometimes. I'm like, man, I'm be real with you. The difference between us and other Kip schools, like we got 10 and the other team don't. Like like we got 10 and they don't. Like say you're a dog. You gotta have that ace that can just shake the whole game up. Like if you don't have a dog at quarterback, like that top guy, then you can be beat like easily too. But everybody got to have that one difference maker at the difference making spot. So those are my top five key components to having a state championship caliber team in Texas. This has been another episode of the Platform Podcast, Houston, Texas. We are out.